Awesome. Okay. So this is our Monday, August 11th MAAC support group. This is a combined group for persons with aphasia as well as our caregivers and care partners. Our guidelines for our sessions: we are respectful and sensitive to one another. We give time for others to speak. We aim to use aphasia-friendly communication. We ask everyone to mute your mic unless are ready to speak. We do not give medical advice, and we do not promote political or religious discussions. Tonight's special guests, we have from Communication Rescue Services, we have Hilary Sample, and she has the most handsome little boy. And we have Leeds Richman. They will tell you exactly what it is that they do and their backgrounds and why what they're talking to you about for us this evening. So I will stop sharing and I will allow Steve and Hilary to take it away.
All right. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Now,
Bear with us for 1 second. I have difficulty sometimes with the whole share my screen, get things started. So, all right, here we go. Okay. And then let me start here.
Start there. All right.
Okay. And then close that out.
Great.
All right.
Can you,
Can-
go on.
yeah, can you see our screen now?
Yes.
yes.
Yep.
Okay, good. I'm gonna try to locate you guys again to bring you back on my screen. Poor Steve has to contend with this every time we get on because I
I'm,
have two monitors and I am not
I'm
skilled at
impressed.
it.
I'm impressed you can do that. I would just be lost.
Well, I don't know how to quite do it, so I'll just leave it here. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, um, well, it's really nice to see everyone. We're very grateful to have been asked to come and just everything that you're doing. It's just wonderful that we are able to have a part tonight. So thank you for having us. All right, so we are from Med Concerns. Med Concerns is the name of our aphasia-friendly app. And so we'll just go through. My name's Hilary Sample, and I am a speech therapist. I work in rehab, so just after acute care in the rehab hospital, and I teach at a university here in Cleveland, and I am the co-creator of Med Concerns. We're the two of us.
I'm the other half of that co-creator, Dr. Stephen Richman. I work in a rehab hospital, and I'm pleased to be doing this with Hillary.
All right. So, the whole reason that we're here and that we developed this app is because, well, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah. For before I met Hillary, I would go to work in this rehab hospital and see patients with stroke or traumatic brain injuries that had trouble expressing themselves. And I had no real training on how to interact or how to help them communicate. And I would walk into those rooms and walk out of those rooms feeling like I wasn't being able to do my job. I wasn't able to help these patients because I did not know how to communicate with them. And it was frustrating and disappointing. And I really was at a loss until I met Hillary. I wanted to help and did not know how.
And it's so nice to have a physician that you meet that has that level of compassion and wants to find a solution together. So I was on the other side of that, where I worked with people after stroke and brain injury who had aphasia and other communication challenges. And I would sit in the room with them working on helping to support communication about a health concern, medical concern. And there's one situation that sticks out to me all the time. A physician entered the room after I was working with a person with aphasia. She had a concern about her medication, and she was concerned that it was a new medication causing fatigue, and that fatigue was getting in the way of her ability to participate in rehab. And she was afraid that she was going to be, booted by insurance for not being able to really keep up with the demands of rehab. And so we ended up, we're sitting there and we're working out all of her concern. And then a physician comes in and asks her kind of generally what's going on with you, or is there anything bothering you? And she just shrugged and kind of shook her head. And the physician didn't use any communication supports. And it seemed like she kind of gave up on that individual, on that physician, because she knew it wasn't going to work out. No supports meant you're not going to understand what I'm meaning to say anyway. And so the conversation ended with the doctor leaving, not knowing what was wrong with the person. And she ended up finishing her dialogue with me with communication supports until I could help her and she could help herself to clarify her concern. I followed up with that doctor after, and I told her all of the issues that this woman was concerned about, and the physician said, "I just was in there. There's nothing wrong." And I said, well, she needs supports in order to get her words out, but she has a lot to say, and there is something wrong. And I showed her what I was doing and what worked for her, and it ended up that they followed up, and she ended up getting her needs met. But it stuck out to me that there's problems in healthcare with communication. It wasn't the first time, and it wasn't the last time. And I imagine when we ask you to tell us, if you'd like to, about these situations for you, you'd have them too, where the training is just not there for physicians and nurses and those people that you really want to be able to communicate clearly with in healthcare. So we wanted to help. And I realized on my side, what I'm doing is we can repeat it. We can create something that repeats it. And I had an idea around using communication supports to build a tool, and Steve had the know-how to have that informed, and the questions that we ask are what a physician would ask. So we came together to create an app that helps to support communication for people that are talking to their physicians and want to tell them what's wrong, which I think is most people want to, if they're facing a communication challenge and they're having difficulty communicating, they need some tool to help them to communicate with their physicians, especially because most physicians are not trained on how to communicate with them. A long story less long, we created a tool. And we'd actually, if you want to interrupt, if you'd like to interrupt and tell us to slow down or anything that would help us to be
Please.
clearer. I end up talking too fast. I know that. So please do. And the other thing is, if you are willing to share from your experience anything that, we'd love to hear from you. Anything.
Okay.
So
I have something. Is first of all, yes, a little bit, s- uh, little slower, please.
okay.
And the other thing is, when I had my stroke, I couldn't express myself on um, what was wrong.
Yeah.
Like would go to the doctor and I would say, bad, bad, good, good. And that's all I said. Like I still have pain on the right side. And and but like my foot hurts, my right foot hurts, my right hand hurts. everything, and then, but uh, I have no, numbness too at the same time. Something to be able to express myself if I was earlier in my stroke to have something like that, that would help because my doctor actually said, "What does it feel like?" And I couldn't say anything. After maybe another couple months or something, I went to see the doctor and I said, I was able to say, uh, sunburn, sunburn,
Mhm.
sunburn. It was like my skin, like I couldn't say it, but my skin was melting away, like in my brain, everything, so, I just want to say that to help someone like that, that would really help.
I'm I'm sorry you went through it, but I love that story because it highlights so much of what we're trying to do.
Mhm.
That question of how does it feel is so informational for a physician, but so hard to express when the words are not coming. And that's one of our big goals to help with that, to help bridge that divide. So thank you.
Thank you. And I'll shut up now. Thank you.
So
No.
I write it in a notepad. I write it in a notepad. What's wrong with me? hand it to the physician. And he can see it. What's wrong with me?
Yeah, that's good too.
Yeah.
So you prepare in advance.
Yes. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yep.
And it helps probably because these situations move very fast,
Yes. Yeah.
very stressful.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anybody else use tools like that ahead of time, that kind of prep?
I do that
Well,
now. Yeah.
yeah. Even with our app, we recommend that if you're bringing it with you, practice with it ahead of time because anything we do on the spot in those doctor
A little stressful at times.
full to communicate with your doctor, especially because we know our time is limited and we're trying to share something important. Those two things are very stressful. So we always recommend that people do, prep in advance. What you can do with the tool, and we'll show you more, is use it to help get your words out. And then there's a screen that summarizes what you've said and you can screenshot that or save it and bring it to your appointment. So we'll go ahead and show you more about what's possible within it. But I really appreciate everyone sharing those things. The more, the better. And I'm still having some issues with trying to figure out how to see you guys. If it looks like we're not looking at you, it's just because I don't know how to use technology. Um, so we're going to move forward here.
So we talked about in physician visits, there's often not enough time. That stress of trying to get everything across in this limited visit is real. And it's real on both ends. So as a physician, I've got 20 more patients, and of course I want to pay attention to what you're saying. And I get, because I've been there, when I don't know how to communicate well, it's frustrating on both parts. So that's part of what we're trying to bridge here.
So not enough time on both sides.
And as a physician, although we're trained in many things related to medicine, I don't remember any training about how to best communicate when people have communication difficulties. Maybe that was in there in a small amount, but it certainly was never a focus. And a few med schools are starting that now, but there's certainly a need to improve that.
That was something I didn't know as an SLP, and I just thought physicians kept dropping the ball a little bit, or I misunderstood why it wasn't happening. But the reason, for the most part, that it's not happening is because there's not training on really what aphasia is and what's possible with supports. Steve and I talked about the education that they received early on, and you said it was more like an overview of just speech diagnoses, the dysarthria, so the movement stuff, the aphasia, cognitive, all kind of in one.
So we have a lecture about stroke, and as part of the lecture, here are some things that can happen as a result of stroke. One of them is aphasia. So aphasia is a small part of a lecture that it just wasn't a focus, but it's so important, and that's part of why we're here.
So the education on aphasia was that one lecture, but communication supports weren't necessarily discussed.
No.
And when we read through articles that have been published on that same topic, they say that there's not a lot of education in general on communication supports for really any diagnosis. So it makes sense. There's some great programs that are starting to initiate it, but one of the things that we wanted to do was step in, especially in this area. Lack of training is the major problem that we focused on.
Exactly.
And then here, and I have the microphone in front of it, but we talked about lack of not enough education about aphasia.
One of the fascinating things that's so obvious to all of you, but not so obvious to a physician that wasn't educated, is that all those thoughts and ideas and feelings are up there and just hard to get out.
Mm-hmm.
And because we in general use language to communicate,
Mm-hmm. Who
when
we
people,
are and what we think, and
yeah, when people
how-
are having difficulty with communicating, it's easy for someone that doesn't know better to think, oh, they just don't have, there's not a lot going on. But I was so wrong to have ever thought that. And
a lot of what we've have our experience, but we try to read what's out there too, and then talk to people in the aphasia community about what they're experiencing. And I think what we've heard is that a lot of people feel like their intelligence is questioned, or that they're communicated with in a way that makes them feel like healthcare staff doesn't realize that they're an intelligent person. And so that education on what aphasia actually is and what it affects, that language, not intelligence or intellect. And again, that with tools, a lot is possible. As you all know, if we use the right tools, and sitting in that room with the woman I told you about, sitting in there, we got a whole list of what was going on with her because we used tools. And the doctor didn't get that because she didn't have the tools. So the consequence, and again, this is from reading these articles, the consequence for not having this communication training and support is there's a three times higher risk of preventable medical problems that are caused by the actual care that the medical facility is giving, not the condition itself. So if someone came in with stroke, with cardiac, heart stuff, anything, it's not necessarily that creates the medical problems, but what the lack of communication and that aspect of medical care.
so we rely so much on language for communicating what's wrong with someone, it's easy to see how a physician could think they understand something and have the wrong diagnosis and thus the wrong treatment, or not get the right diagnosis and thus have delayed treatment, or not be able to understand the responses to monitor the changes. We ask people, are they better or worse today, and what's going on? Without that good communication, it makes it really challenging to do the medical care that we all want to provide and receive.
And we'd like to hear from you on this too, if you've had any consequences that you'd like to share about where the communication breakdown between healthcare staff and you ended up with something that didn't need to happen. Like Steve was saying, wrong treatment, something about the treatment itself, didn't notice when something happened that was wrong. But longer hospital stays are also reported as one of those preventable consequences, which we know is financial, it's emotional. There's a lot of different things that can happen there. A higher chance of going back to the hospital because something's wrong, worse outcomes in general, and dissatisfaction with care, which we know is a huge part of positive recovery experience. So if there's anybody that would like to share their experience in healthcare, if you'd like, if I can figure out what I'm doing here, we'd love to hear from you.
I have I don't know if it's a question or a comment or whatever. Anyway, early in the first stroke, so I'm in the hospital. I think I was there for maybe 6 days before we were going back to Pennsylvania. And it was in North Carolina, like one of the best hospitals, best stroke places in the world you could be. So it was like so great. But they would ask me questions and I would respond, and it would sound as if I'm sounding, this is great. How do you feel? Do you feel good? Everything's good. I feel good. But I didn't really want to say I feel good. I was really trying to say, like, I didn't know I was saying good. I thought I was saying, oh, this is bad. My head just hurts. It keeps hurting. Oh, my head. So, like, I heard you earlier, you were saying about the verification of how the person is doing. So is something in the app, or is there ways so that we can make sure that what the person is communicating is actually what they're trying to say? Because I was doing backwards of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, and that happens so often. Um, I will go ahead and show some of the app for you guys. We'll go ahead and move forward so you can see how we do those things, but that's exactly what we wanted to do because there are so many ways that the message can be misunderstood or misstated when we rely just on the verbal, because the verbal is the problem. It's the difficult part. So that we layer different forms, the written and pictures and verbal.
And
Oh, mhm.
and I wanted to add in, asking about as a way to correct yourself. When we first started working together, Hilary and I, Hilary insisted they have these confirmation pages, which you will see, to confirm people are giving the right response. And it took me a while to really grasp when language is a problem, you need an easy way to correct if you can't do it with language. And so now that's an integral part of the app, and you'll see it in a few minutes. And I so value those pages.
Yeah, but that was one of the most important things, and it was something that we kept coming together on, like this has to be there. So let's go ahead and move forward and show you some of that stuff, unless anybody has anything to share first.
I'll tell you one thing
Sure.
for me. Almost everything I say is wrong
Mm,
before. And I try to say it hurts. No, I say it's great. How do I move it? That it was been for me. Now it's been for quite a while. Now I stop and then I say it right. So just
yeah.
Wonderful.
That's so you have those strategies, but if a healthcare provider, if the situation's a little bit faster paced, or if there's stress or a new concern or new,
Yes, 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 yes.
and it's hard to use all those strategies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my basic strategy was relying on my wife because after my stroke, I could hardly say anything. Uh, but then there was a situation where she couldn't be with me uh,
Mm,
when the doctor wanted to do something, and I basically insisted that he wait for her to come.
yeah.
And
Good.
he wasn't, he was busy,
Mhm.
but I made him wait because
Yeah.
I wasn't comfortable
Mhm.
that I was understanding what he was doing, and yeah, so.
Yeah.
Smart.
And that's the kind of thing that not everybody can advocate for, but the fact that you did that and it
I mean,
wasn't just blown past. That's a good
my
thing.
wife had told me to do that. Basically, she had
Good.
much more experience with hospitals
Great.
than I had before my stroke.
Yeah,
Mhm.
fantastic. And those are some of the things. There's a whiteboard feature in the app. Like some people talked about writing things down beforehand. You can kind of save some of those important statements to just be able to type that out. Like, I don't want to communicate without my whatever, without my wife, without my friend, so that you can just go to that and show it. And that's something you can have without our app, but it's a good idea in case those words aren't easily retrieved in that stressful moment. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share again. If you want to if you want to say something, just unmute and say it. You will not hurt our feelings. We love to hear from you. All right, here we go. So, as you know, you want us to know that you're competent. You know what you want to say, but you're having trouble saying it. Slow down. layer pictures and text and speech and confirm understanding. These are the things we put into the app. So, like Dr. Mendez was talking about, confirming understanding, making sure we are on the same page. We want to give you the opportunity to self-correct. So let's go ahead and show you that. Did I go backwards?
I think we're good.
Okay. Um,
This is fun.
yep. All right.
So how does that work? It starts off like a basic medical conversation, and it's supported by techniques and that we've been talking about, supported by speech therapy and research. So I would walk in the room with anyone and want to ask in general, how are you? And that will start that way. So if we see on the next screen, I think, an app starts just like it would. What seems to be the problem? Or hello, how are you? Just start off with some general questions.
Except for Med Concerns gives a menu of responses. So if you're having trouble getting anything out, or you're having trouble getting the thing, like you're saying the opposite, or a million things that could happen, you have something to point to. And it actually starts with a screen we didn't put on here, but it starts with a general, how are you? And you can say good, bad, okay, getting better, getting worse. We'll show you that as well. Go ahead.
So I apologize. I would start with how are you? We have that screen that we did not show. And then we ask, so what's the problem today? What is your concern? And that's what we're showing here with some supportive words and pictures to help people move forward.
And these are just screenshots. It does move, and we'll show you that in a little bit. So it flows like a conversation. The doctor still asks their questions. This does not replace the doctor, and it doesn't diagnose. It's just built in. They ask their questions, and we provide you a menu to respond with. You select something that's wrong, and it gives you that opportunity to say, yes, that's what I meant to say, or no. If you say no, it takes you back to that main concerns and you can correct. And you can do that as many times as you need to if it takes a minute to get that right response. Once you push yes, it'll automatically move you to kind of detail more about that concern. So a doctor would normally want to ask more about it, and now you can do that. Where is your pain? You can select on here and then confirm the response or fix it. And then how does it feel? This is the one you guys talked about before. And we'll talk about later how we had a friend that this was so important for, but you can actually describe with more details how that pain is feeling. I think, Mark, you were talking about that burning pain earlier. So if somebody hit sharp stabbing, it would then go to that confirmation page. Again, yes moves you forward automatically, and no takes you back to fix it. How bad is your pain? You can rate it just like you normally do, except on this, you can also confirm what you meant to say. So I hit very severe, and yes, that's what I meant to say. Then he wants to know when is it happening, and you can give that more detail. So we're showing all these just to show that the app automatically gives you menus of options to respond with so that you can give a very detailed response if you want to. And so every selection again has that confirmation page. And you can also say when it began. There's a calendar in here where you can do in the day. You can also hit one of these and talk about a time ago. And is this a new problem? These are all those things they want to know, but now you have a menu that you can respond with. Yes, no, I don't know. And then at the end of a conversation with your doctor, they usually summarize what's going on. Or what they've understood. We definitely want to do that with people with aphasia to make sure, even though we verified as we went, we want to make sure that the whole picture is correct at the end too. And we can do that with a summary of all the selections that were made. So I know you're doing bad, you're in pain, it's in your knee, it feels like sharp and stabbing, very severe, it's worse with activity, and it's a new problem. That tells the doctor a lot more than they might be able to understand if it's just verbal communication.
Yeah. And I love this page because at the end of or partway through a visit, normally I would like to confirm I'm on the right path. But if language is a problem, here we got the pictures and the words to check that we got it in the right direction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of my favorite parts too, because if you do want to confirm with yes, no, you can go right to the yes, no page from here and verify again. Um, and real quick, I just wanted to show you this one takes you back to that concerns page. If you want to go back and add more, there's something else that's bothering me. You can go right from there, and then the whiteboard is right there as well. So we just went through this, but it's not replacing a doctor, but it's giving support automatically. So everything has a menu of options to choose from. So if verbal language is hard, the layers of the verbal with the text, the written, and the picture hopefully will make it a lot more clear and at the same time help the physician to realize how much you know and want to say and you know what's going on with you and you just need help getting it out.
So if we pause this,
Uh-huh.
so that first concerns page where we showed you before, you saw these first 6 icons on all the pages except for confirmation. There are more than just on there. So this is just to show you what's on the concerns page. We have pain, medication, breathing, coughing,
Sorry.
swallowing, nausea, bowels, urination, fatigue, emotions or feelings, vision, hearing, illness, mucus or secretions, something happened, wound or incision, appetite, peg tube, trach, something else, or no concerns. And we love ending with those two. Something else, if there's something not on here, at least we know we need to keep looking and you can go to the whiteboard and help figure that out. Or no concerns to know at least, hey, this isn't currently a problem. Obviously, with the doctor, you probably have some concern, but we got those options for you.
And this is one of the reasons it's nice to take this home and play with it before we use it a lot with people when they are first at the hospital. They've never seen it before and they can use it pretty well. But if you do familiarize yourself with where things are and it can be easier to use and just more comfortable. But there are a lot of concerns on there. And then
Fatigue.
I'm sorry, each concern. Oh,
Fatigue. Yes.
okay. Each concern comes with,
With
like I said,
medication.
the help me. Each concern is followed by those sub options. Like we showed with pain, that's a very specific one for pain. Those are very specific questions that they would want to have answered and that you would want to detail. Each concern has its own set of those that are different based on what a physician would want to know if you told them you're having nausea, or if you told them that you're having some new fatigue. So this is to show, I think we hit nausea or fatigue, but we'll show you how it moves automatically on this screen. And now I'll let it play.
Fatigue. Yes. With medication. Yes. Week. Wednesday. Yes.
And this scenario we run into more often than I would have imagined. But it makes some sense, at least in the hospital. Someone's more tired since a few days ago when they started that new medication. And that's a hard thing to get across without the words, but it sure can help if we could find the problem and fix it.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of just trying to assume what's going on, like you see the fatigue, the person's showing that they're tired, but you're not getting that detail of why. And maybe they point to the medication later on, but it's not tying those two thoughts together in that moment with the doctor. And so this hopefully can make more of those details come out so that you can get the care you need.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Mark has a question.
Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks.
I can't see anybody, so thank you for
Yeah.
saying.
Okay, yeah. Question I have is that, or first of all, I want to say that this would be great for, a person that has aphasia or brain injury on their caregiver to have one. But is there any doctors that actually are walking around the hospital using those?
There are a few. I'm obviously it's me and the people I've shared it with, and we are getting the word out. And
Okay.
that's a big goal to get this into hospitals
Yeah.
Right.
and into practices. But we are still new and small.
Yeah.
So we are, but that is definitely our goal.
We're a team of two total people that knew nothing about starting something. We just knew what we had our passion areas and wanted to put it, but there's been a large learning curve. So our mission is to get it into the hands of healthcare providers because they're the ones missing the tools. And we wanted, and that's in the works. We're actually talking to a hospital right now who is planning on purchasing it for all their physicians and nursing aides and nurses. So it's the beginning, and
This is really cool. This is really cool.
thank
You're
you.
welcome.
That means the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think somebody had their hand up and hi, Fred.
Yeah, I have a question about fatigue. What about fatigue and you have no medication at all? You still experience fatigue,
Mhm.
but with no medication.
Sure. So when someone hits fatigue, it goes to a submenu with multiple options. Medication is one option, but there are other things like wake up tired or tired with activity or tired all day. And I don't remember them all offhand, but we have a variety of options and hopefully one of those fit. And of course, if none of those explain your fatigue, there's something else. And you can click on that and go to the whiteboard and work back and forth to try to describe it.
Just going to show you that really quickly on the app on my computer.
A great question.
Yeah, it doesn't. So that was one way that somebody might have moved through the app. But another one might have been one of these other things. You're waking up tired, you're experiencing trouble sleeping, it's more than usual, or it's just all day or with activity. Medication is one option for what you might be trying to say.
Oh, yes.
Other questions or thoughts?
Right now. Nice.
So if you hit any one of those, it would go through that same. So if you're experiencing fatigue all day and you want to,
No,
okay.
I feel fatigue about say 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of the specific ones can be a little, we tried to make options that we could think of and that'll be useful to people, but some of the more specific ones, it would be nice to have those written down on the whiteboard. Possibly you might say something, bring that with you. So you let them know you're having fatigue and then go to your whiteboard to back it up with more information. But it doesn't give that specific of information for a specific time. But that's an important thing to share.
Is this a very the, the available to now?
Yes, it is. It's on the App Store. So
Oh,
for Apple, we have an Android app too for people that have tablets, but it's not live yet. We would be willing to share if we can
If we can.
figure out how to share that. So we have our email address at the end here. If there's anybody that has a tablet that wants to talk to us about that, we can try our best to get it to you before it's live, but it is live on the App Store.
wow.
Mhm. And we're currently working on another way to share it as well. So it'll be even easier than the App Store, hopefully. So, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing. Any other questions before we continue? Maybe about how it works or general concerns. We've shared about so if you're on the concerns screen, the main part of the app is that you start with that broad concerns, you make a selection, and then you keep going with narrowed sub questions to get more detail, and you end with that summary screen. What we'll share about next is the kind of the other features that make it a little more helpful. We've already talked about the whiteboard a lot, but we'll talk about some others as well. So let me share that real quick.
Additional tools. Yeah.
Additional tools. All right, here we go. So there are more tools. Education page. So you might have you might have heard about what aphasia was when you were first post-stroke in the hospital, but a lot of times that education comes very fast, or there's just a lot going on and it's too hard to soak it all up. Or maybe the doctor doesn't have that information available to you as clearly as people would really like it. We made an education page that describes what aphasia might look like for you so that you can kind of see, like, that's what I have, and these are the things that might help. So aphasia education, and it has a little bit about apraxia too, if anybody's experiencing that.
We also have a needs board. People may have seen a basic needs board in the hospital where they put a piece of paper in front of you with some different things. Our needs board had a lot more things, but more importantly, it's got some interaction where you can show what you're clicking on, and you could change. We didn't talk about this yet, but some people may find 6 items at once a little bit too complicated, and you have a way to change this. So on your needs board, you can have 2 items at a time to scroll down, or 1 or 3, whatever makes sense for you. So we think it's a much more person-friendly needs board.
Yeah, just that it can be changed for you is I think a big improvement from the one that sits on your tray table. The topic board is also something that we wanted to have because it supports autonomy. You can ask your doctor the questions that you might want to ask. And again, something might not be covered on here, and we encourage people to use a whiteboard to add those things, but we've tried to think of those main topics that someone would want to say, hey, how am I supposed to raise my children after a stroke? What am I supposed to do about driving? And more questions than that as well. And we can show more after.
Yeah. So here's an example of the whiteboard where we put on a few things. And people are listing here that here are their medical conditions, heart, diabetes, blood pressure, and you could also put in some pictures from that. The whiteboard's really nice. You could type on it, you could draw on it, you could save it, you could screenshot it. It's a very handy tool.
Yeah. And we didn't show it here, but you can also draw. So there's drawing, text, adding a photo. And then, of course, the yes, no board to verify and make sure you're clarifying those responses. And then there was the settings that Steve talked about before. You can change specific boards, and I'll let you talk about it more.
Sure. So on the on the concerns board, there was all that list of concerns, and one was trach and one was peg. And if you don't have a trach or a peg, you probably don't really care about that. So you could remove those from your list if you want. So you could personalize to concerns that might apply to you and not have to be, just make it a little more straightforward that way.
Yeah, one thing we know helps people, and anybody, but also especially people with aphasia or brain injury, is to get rid of all the stuff that I don't need. And so we tried to have that be an option for both the general medical concerns that you might be experiencing, but also for the needs board. If you don't have glasses, or if you don't have hearing aids or tube or so on, you can eliminate those so it's less busy and therefore a little easier to use. But you can also, like Steve was mentioning, the ones we've shown you have had 6 icons on the screen. And that might be too busy or a little too challenging for someone for a number of reasons. You can have 4, 3, 2, or even just 1 icon on the screen. You can also zoom in to be able to see it a little bit easier too. If you want a male voice and a male body to point to for the pain location, you can switch the gender. And you can also, if you speak Spanish, you can switch it to Spanish. Currently, we have English and Spanish, and hopefully one day we'll have more as well. We wanted to let you know that we have a discounted price available now for you guys. If you want to scan the QR code to download it, it is available now for $34.99 just until the 18th. But I wanted to show a little bit more of the actual app. Let me do, and any questions, just interrupt.
Yes, please.
But I wanted to show you what we mean by the settings. So here's the main concern screen again. And it has 3 and 3, 6 icons per screen. So let's say I wanted to just have 2. Now it just shows two, and it's just easier to process for some individuals. And you can zoom in, like we said before. And then you can go all the way down to just one.
Yeah. On my phone, I have
And
two
then,
as the default because I find, although some people could do fine with more, two's been a good default on my phone when I show
okay.
patients.
Yeah. And that's important to note. I use it a lot on my iPad, so I have 6, but you use it on an iPhone, so it's a smaller screen. So that might make it easier as well, just because it's a smaller screen. And we had it female before, but there's the male voice and
Pain.
and the body image.
Yes,
So
where
here
is
it
your pain?
switches to a male body. And that's if you switched it in the settings. And again, with the language, now it's Spanish. Let me switch that back so I know how to read it. I'm going to switch back to 6 just to show you really quickly what we can do with like the needs board, for instance. There's all of these needs that are going to be on the board, but let's say I don't have hearing aids and maybe I don't, let's see, maybe I don't have a helmet or a cervical collar. We have all these in case somebody needs them, but not everybody needs them. So I save that, and now the needs board doesn't have stuff on it that I wouldn't need. So this is what the needs board looks like currently, and I've removed things that don't pertain to me. And it keeps going. We've tried to add a lot of icons that might be useful for anyone in a hospital setting. Someone might eliminate suction or catheter. And again, on the needs board, you can change it in the same way to being just 2 or 1 icon so that it's easier to process. And again, it zooms in if you need that. And this is the whiteboard as it is right now. We can do lots of doodles like I do with my son, or he can write anything or text or upload any photo that's in the app. All right.
So we've been talking for a lot.
Yeah, we talked a lot.
And we appreciate you listening and our sharing, but other thoughts or questions?
Can you put that the discounted
Yes, yes, yes.
Absolutely.
I want to yeah.
Here we go. And our email is on the next slide. So just let us know when you're ready. And we can also, Dr. Mendez has this, and please feel free to share, or we can share it with you just on a PDF if you'd like that to make it easier to get it to all the friends here today.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Okay.
Oh yeah, can you do the and go to the next one?
And here is our email address. We both have, our specific ones, but this is one that'll get both of us real quick. So,
And is your app is that monthly,
One
one
time.
time,
yearly, or one time?
One time.
one time only.
You've got it.
Excellent.
You got
We
it.
don't want people to have to subscribe to something that where they're using it for communication. It feels rough to have that go away. So one time is
Yeah.
what we want.
One feature that I like to call a secret feature is it's on the Apple family plan. So whoever Apple sees as your family, maybe it's your spouse, they get it. You buy it once, everyone in the family gets it. I think up to 6 people.
That's
Yeah. So, and that doesn't change the price. That one price will get everybody.
Well, I want to talk to you about it to see if I could give it to a doctor next, like around,
Great.
there's somebody that would have one to help people there. So if they had it there in the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll say, "Oh yeah, this other doctor, let me use that," and because we need to help somebody.
We would be thrilled to talk with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. So you're thinking of us communicating with that doctor and trying to get it into the facility?
Yeah. Mhm.
We'd love to do that. We'll meet with anybody, anytime. That is the whole vision, is just to make it, we always kind of say that the person that we want to have this is the person who's willing to bring it to the encounter, right? But we do believe very strongly that the we're all supposed to be able to speak the language of aphasia. It's just not, the system doesn't have that. It's not there right now. But the laws, we're supposed to effectively communicate with patients that we see, and we're not doing that. And so we want to help, it's a system issue, not any one person. So we want to just help each person to do a little better, because the truth is we all want to do better, and a lot of people just have no idea how. So having a tool to make it easier in that moment, that's what we wanted to do. So please, we would love for you to connect us with anyone. Yes.
My hand up.
Hi, Janet.
Yeah, I'm Janet Gritz. I'm a speech pathologist. I don't want to take up time from all the rest of you because it's your group, but I just wanted to commend the two of you for creating this. It looks wonderful. I've been in hospital and nursing settings and home care and every setting because I've done this for 50 years. I've been everywhere. And you need something like this. There have been other things, but this is, I think, better than anything I've seen. And I think you should go in Shark Tank and let them
Yeah, wouldn't that be something?
know
There you
that
go.
That would.
because it has to get out to hospitals, nursing homes, other settings. I think it has such use. And I see it as a therapeutic tool also. You can practice saying these things to help your aphasia get less, to make progress by practicing the words and phrases that meet your medical needs. I think it's great. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
And but to help you participate, we have some schools are using it, and their clinicians are practicing helping the person to just like we in therapy sometimes will practice using your apps at home for like Tactus. Some people might use Tactus apps at home. And so in the session, we'll make sure that you can do that before you leave us, right? And it's another thing that people can do in their sessions, but for advocating for themselves and having that autonomy in those encounters with doctors.
One other comment. This group, of course, are stroke survivors and head injury survivors with aphasia, but this is good for any communication disorder. People with multiple sclerosis, with Parkinson's, with all kinds of other situations, medical conditions that affect communication. So you've got a wonderful product.
Thank you.
Yeah,
We
appreciate it. When we made it with aphasia in mind because of Hilary's background and the work I was doing and some personal issues. I remember the first time using it with someone without aphasia that had a developmental anyways, he was a nonverbal person and he was acting out and couldn't get anywhere until I pulled out the app and found he had pain with urination, and we were making progress now. It was really neat to see.
And people that are hard of hearing, people with dementia, and it's just because we all speak that universal language of pictures. If you're able to understand pictures, then we can all share that. But when they're supported with some text and you get to hear it as well, so it's the layers that make it so we can all comprehend together. And this isn't novel for me. Actually, Megan Sutton is the person that told me or gave this analogy to me, but she said having aphasia is like being dropped in a foreign country where you don't speak the language. And I know you all would tell me more if that's how you feel, but it was something that really stuck out to me because she said, you're still you just can't speak the language. So what would you do in that situation to communicate with someone? And so for that reason, if a language is hard for any reason, we have people that speak English as a second language that also have found it useful, and any challenges with communication, like you said. So I'm so glad you felt that way as well. Yeah. Any questions or any experience that you have that you want to share?
I'm wondering if there's what is it, like a health mentor program at Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson Hospital out in this area.
Okay.
And like that would be so perfect for the students. Basically, what happens is any persons with different issues, conditions, etc., you can volunteer to be a mentor to these young people who are going to be either nurses, doctors, therapists, occupational or physical or speech or whatever. And we stay with these kids. Yeah, I keep saying kids, but these young people for like a year and a half. Have little sessions, like not frequently, like you meet with them one time and then like 6 months later you meet with them 6 months later, but basically it's my classroom and I am talking to them about what I need when I'm going to the doctor, the therapist, the whatever. So I'm thinking this app needs to be in the schools. It needs to be in those schools. How do we oh, I got a contact for somebody. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna contact the lady who's in charge of the thing at Jefferson, and I can meet with her and talk to her about it, and then get you guys to come in. I don't know, do it on Zoom or whatever, but this is so important. Just like you said, Janet, this is, if we can't communicate, like, oh my God, I don't even like to even think about what could happen. It's bad enough just the frustration that I can't get what I want to say to you. But
Yes,
God help
yes,
me if I
yes.
say the backward thing and you just give me more medicine. And I say, oh yeah, just give me more, whatever. But this is, yeah, this is awesome. This is really, you guys came up together with a brilliant, needed tool.
Thank you.
Thank you. We would love to meet with whatever contacts you have to help get this out in people's hands that could benefit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, anybody that we could meet too. We've thought about getting, getting this into different clinics for SLP programs, but it didn't really dawn on me to get it into medical programs as well. But also the thought that you give them something, but a lot of times, is it going to be used or not, or how's that going to be implemented? So we've kind of gone to trying to go to the top of different hospitals to mandate, like have it be something that's required. So any ideas anyone has, we are very, very, very new and not skilled at this side of it. Like we need collaborators. So I'll be honest, it is not our forte. We just we wanted to help, but we're learning. And happy to do anything to help. And also, if anybody's using it and they want to give us feedback, positive, negative, somewhere in between, we want to hear that too, because it's, we've tried to anticipate what you might need and we've taken what we've heard from others to make it a useful tool for you. But we can't anticipate everything. And of course, we can't have everything in the app, but we can, we want to hear your feedback and make the changes we can.
One more comment, if I may. I'm in Maryland, and the hospitals and rehab facilities and so on in our area are, for the most part, either part of an Adventist system that has several hospitals, or Johns Hopkins related facilities, or MedStar. So my thought is, I don't know if it's like this in other states, but in addition to going to like one hospital, if there's a system that has connections to home care and to nursing facilities and hospitals, that might be a target for you as well.
Maybe we should be in touch, Janet. You can help us.
I will definitely be in touch with you. Yes.
Thank you.
I'll try to help you here in Maryland.
Thank you. Thank you.
Aphasia Phil has a question.
Yeah.
Oh, I've
Hello.
right now we have National Aphasia Association, and they have a resources in there, and they have apps and books and stuff in there too. So you might have to talk to them.
Good idea.
We're on one part, like there's one document that National Aphasia Association has with med concerns in it, and it's I have to look it back up. It's kind of it's deep in there. But it'd be nice to have something that's a little bit more you know,
Everything's changing there now in there.
yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
much different.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. We will. We'll reach out.
If there's any other questions, I think Denise, you have a couple more slides, right, at the end.
Yes, there are a few more slides with some of the what is it, events coming up, events and things coming up. So if you can hang with us, we'll do that. But let us thank Steve
Yes.
and Hilary. This was wonderful. I am getting my app.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Getting
You
my
felt
app
that to us.
because
Thank you.
oh, you know what? No, never mind. You know what? I'm going to contact
Got
you.
more ideas.
back. I got like so many things I'm thinking about here.
We will keep talking.
Yeah, we'd love
Yeah.
to hear from you. Thank you.
Awesome. So thank you so very much. We really appreciate you. Nobody go anywhere yet unless I mean Stephen and Hillary will let you guys go if you need to. But I want to share the other slides. Thank you.
Mark, before we head out, would you mind sharing the recording with us when you're all done with it? Because we'd love to hear back anything we heard from you that we might have
Definitely. I put it on our website. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Thank you, and thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you so much. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, now where did it go? Hold on one second. I just got to click on wrong thing.
Okay.
Finishing up.
I tell you, I begin to despise technology, but not really. All right, do you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
beautiful.
yes.
All right, so I'll quickly go. So new events. On Thursday, this Thursday, there is I can't talk, sorry. The Ask the Expert webinar will be, this is founded, sent out by the National Aphasia Association. Thursday, it'll be 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be one of the presenters. With Dr. Warren Brown and Dr. Teresa Brown. Warren Brown is at Jacksonville in Mississippi, I think. And Teresa Gray, she's in charge of the lab, Gray Matters Lab in San Francisco State. I've worked with both of them for a number of years, actually, and they are fabulous. But our topic will be how care providers, now this goes right along with what we talked about with Hilary and Stephen today, how can care providers be better to understand and supporting each one of us individually, our identity, our culture, and experiences so that our medical treatment is fair, respectful, and effective for everyone. So we definitely need that with the communication. On Monday, two weeks from today, we will have another MAAC conversation group. So we hope you will come out for that as well. There are two sessions again in September. We meet every month. First Monday is always, I'm sorry, not the first Monday. Is it the first Monday or is it the second Monday? Second Monday. Second Monday is always our support group. And then our fourth Monday is conversation group. And on Monday, the 7th, no, Monday, the 8th of September, this will be a care partner, a caregiver. This is the wife of one of our founders who, you'll hear this from her perspective, aphasia and that kind of stuff. It's going to be very powerful. If you have your care partners who would like to participate, please encourage them to come and be a part of this. It's going to be good. And then at the end of September, on the 22nd, of course, another conversation group. We also have a number of social events that are happening in the month of September. The September 20th will be the Bristol Fall Fest. This is to the in Bucks County, to the north of Philadelphia a little bit. It's not that unusual to get there. I mean, not that hard to get there. It will be at the big park that's there, and the address is here. Because this will be shared to you, you'll be able to get the address 2501 Bath Road in Bristol. On the 26th of September, I hope you've got your tickets. If not, there are still a few left. For we're going to the baseball game again. We'll be at the Citizens Bank Park, and we will see the Phillies beat up all over the Minnesota Twins. It's a great thing. It really is a lot of fun, and they'll have it out on the big screen, and we're spreading aphasia awareness. So it's a good thing. Plus, it's just a fun social thing, and they got good hot dogs. So think about it if you're interested. On Sunday, the 28th, this is the annual, the fourth annual MAAC Aphasia Get Together. This is for all of the people in the aphasia community. We're talking people with aphasia, we're talking family members, friends, our professionals, whether you're a therapist or a student, or you could be a medical doctor and just interested in the aphasia community. There'll be games, activities, we'll share experiences, and of course, there'll be some nice snacks and beverages and things. We would like you to register, please, because that way we know we got enough beverage and enough food and that kind of stuff. It helps us with the organization. So please, you'll see on the slide, it'll have the little QR page. And it will be on our website as well. And I'm pretty sure Mark sends an email with that slide that will have the for the get together.
Yes.
There are still opportunities for the aphasia research. There's one at Penn State. You can, you'll look at the slide and contact them, their email or their QR. This one is, I'm not really sure exactly what it is. It has to do with understanding how aphasia affects how we use language. There's another one. This was a very short one. I mean, I did it when, I saw it. I said, let me do it. It was quick. And the girl sent the young lady sent the gift card within 5 minutes of the time I finished the assignment. So this has to do with language study. You can do it in person if you're in South Carolina. If you're not in South Carolina, do it online. It's really an easy thing to do. Takes about an hour, and then boom, you're done. And then the very last thing, we're just letting you know, back again, October 25th. That'll be the next time that we will see each other for a MAAC conversation group. So, whew, thank you. I'm tired now. I had to say a lot.
Hold on, real quick.
Yes.
The one for Penn State.
Yes.
Can you give me the information that so I can put it on my page?
Not right this second, I can't, but I will.
Well, not right now.
You get it. I'll make sure you get it though, Phil. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate you sharing those things as well. Because research is really, important to push the field higher and higher and higher. It really is. So all of those things are great. Any other questions, comments? Anybody else? I don't want to miss you. Everybody good? It's good seeing you, Rick.
Thank you.
Yeah, excellent. All right. Well, then we'll see everybody on the 25th for our conversation group. Thank you so very much. Check out the website and we will send you emails with the QR for that app, QR for Penn State app research, and that other one, the University of South Carolina. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Appreciate you.
Bye.
Hi,